5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, in-betweeners, on this week's On the Rocks Live from Home edition, Quarantine and Chill, we have actor and On the Rocks favorite Aleks Paunovic to chat about the final season of SyFy's Van Helsing and the premiere of his new show, the highly anticipated Snowpiercer, with a special guest for our Truth or Shots and your fan Q&A, and me, your favorite host with the sassy most. So raise a glass and let the drinks begin.
Thank you for being
Boulevard.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Lord have mercy, who knows what's going to happen? Aleks Paunovic, we know he's a troublemaker. Buttons and bows and pantyhose, On the Rocks podcast, the place where we're too glam to give a damn. So before you try to make excuses for not being able to, before we would be able to say, oh, I can't go to your show, I can't go to your party. Now we got to make excuses for not being able to Zoom, because what are you going to say? I'm busy. I'm at home, and I'll be watching hour 10 of Law and Order SVU, with a bucket of ice cream. That's my excuse. All right, stay tuned, because later in the show, we have a surprise guest to lead us into our Truth or Shots with Aleks Paunovic. And I told Alex to have plenty of alcohol ready for when he calls in. We're going to get him pretty liquored up, and I'm hoping we're going to get him to sing by the end of the show. Today's show is brought to you by JustFor.Fans, the top award-winning site, setting the gold standard for fans to connect with their favorite adult film stars and content creators. Sign up for JustFor.Fans for free if you are a fan or a content creator. Start making money while you're at home, while you're waiting for that stimulus check. Kurt, do you have a pun for us today?
I do, yes. So,
What is the pun?
to the guy who invented zero, thanks for nothing.
No, but doesn't zero have like a numeric value? Like there's like a zero with a cross through it. That's like a zero value.
I mean, I guess you can, but it also means
Okay,
nothing.
see, I'm being so scientific. Got to put my college degree to use somehow. This show is brought to you by Straw Hut Media. You can watch and or listen to every one of our over 200 episodes on OnTheRocksRadioShow.com. New episodes drop every Thursday. Hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Roku, Pandora's podcast section. Watch us on YouTube and the Facebook pages of Trendy Now, GED Magazine, I Love Gay LGBT, and of course, On the Rocks Radio Show on Facebook. If you don't like us on Facebook, you should, because we love you. And of course, we are streaming now on Trendy Now app as well. Add and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast player. Like us on Twitter, Instagram, at On the Rocks On Air. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will show up via Zoom for now. Send me an email at info@ontherocksradioshow.com. Send us your questions, comments, and your nudes. Okay. Upcoming events. Just kidding. They're all canceled. Kind of. This weekend is a Bear Weekend Digital. You can catch a mini version of On the Rocks with guest actor Greg Gunter as part of the Bear World Magazine first ever Digital Bear Weekend. Our spot is Sunday, May 17th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at bearworldmag.com. It's a weekend of online DJs, celebrity appearances, musicians, drag performers, even a cooking segment. All the fun of Bear Weekend without the STDs. Okay, where's Aleks Paunovic, by the way? He's supposed to be here.
He's not on yet.
Kurt, he's not on yet?
Not on yet.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to text him really fast. Let me text him really fast.
All right.
Kurt, give us another pun.
You want another pun? Oh, wow. You're in a punny mood today.
Well,
did I tell you the one that never to lie to an X-ray technician? Because
he can see right through you?
Because he can see right through you.
Oh, God, Kurt, come on. You got to save us.
Once you've seen one shopping center, you've seen them all. A mall.
That one. Okay, that's pretty bad.
I also have a broken puppet for sale. Yeah. You know that? There's no strings.
No strings attached?
No strings attached.
My God, Kurt, I'm tuning on to you.
Yeah, exactly. I also have some dead batteries for sale. They're free of charge.
Kurt. Aleks Paunovic, where are you?
Yeah, this is
Save
gonna
us
get
from
bad
this.
fast.
Anyway, I'm very excited though. I just texted him, so he'll be on. I got to see Snowpiercer, which is Alex's new show on TNT, starring Jennifer Connelly. TNT sent me the screener for not 1, not 2, not 3 episodes, which they usually do. I got the whole season. So of course I had to fast forward to Aleks Paunovic real fast to see what was going on. And I have to tell you, Jennifer Connelly is so gorgeous. Oh God, Alex, he's killing me. Let's see. Oh my God, I need to send him the link. Kurt, and entertain us for one more.
I mean, I can give you more puns, but I don't know if you.
Yeah, give us more puns.
Okay, you know, I was looking at the store the other day for a camouflage shirt. But I couldn't find one.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh man, elevators, they just always bring me down. and they're so
Oh my God.
they're wrong on so many levels.
Oh my God, that was like a 2-parter.
Yeah, exactly. Hey man, I've been practicing. Let me see. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator.
No. Oh my God. Okay, Alex said that he's having trouble, tuning in. I think that's what happens with old age. Maybe he's already been drinking too much. All right, so he knows he's coming in. For his fans, I know you guys are drooling at the bit. Just hold on while he does that link.
I'll let you know as soon as he
Kurt,
comes in.
Thank you, Kurt, for that entertaining. Oh.
I got your back whenever you need puns.
Thanks so much. Wow. Careful, Kurt. They might send you, to entertain our troops
around
the world.
I mean, I'd probably be quarantined.
Hey, has anybody in your family gotten sick?
Not yet, no. I mean, no, not that I recall. At least they're not telling me. So.
Well, for those people in LA, or for those listening not in LA, we just kind of got the news that we might be locked up till the end of July, starting in August. Oh my Lord, what am I going to do with myself indoors? I would love to show you how many bottles I have all around me. Clink, clink, clink. I have no idea what day it is, what time it is, nothing.
Yeah, it's everything's blending together. There's
and all the
no
gays are
rhyme or
freaking out because they can't get their Botox, they can't get their haircuts, they can't have dates.
Oh, it looks like you've been saved.
Paunovic, who he's quarantined with. Is he here yet?
Yes, he is.
Oh my God, thank God. Okay, Kurt, bring him in. I'm going to read his intro. The man of the hour, my bad bromance, our 6'5" on the rocks bestie, Aleks Paunovic, former athlete and musician with long hair. We have the pics. Returns for the 5th and final season of SyFy's Van Helsing this coming year. And aside from that, his numerous credits include Apple Plus, C's opposite Jason Momoa, drool, 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 War for Planet of the Apes, Siberia with Keanu Reeves, Cold Pursuit with Liam Neeson, and an indie feature, Numb. Also catches appearances in Galactica, This Means War, opposite Tom Hardy, Supernatural, Continuum, iZombie, The 100, Once Upon a Time, and Smallville, among many, many others. He also starred in the hit indie film Freaks, opposite Emile Hirsch, another boyfriend of mine, and Bruce Dern, not a boyfriend of mine, which made its debut at the Toronto International Film Festival. And next up for Paunovic, of course, is the highly anticipated Snowpiercer for TNT, opposite the gorgeous Jennifer Connelly, premiering May 17th. As well as he has the feature film Crimson Point coming out, as well as Volition, which is due out in July of this year. He's also working on a new film studio coming to his hometown of Winnipeg called Wonderlight, which he will be casting me in something sassy, I'm sure. Please welcome back the bold, the beautiful, Mr. Aleks Paunovic.
I don't think we can hear him.
Volume on. There's a button that says audio. It says audio. Oh my God, this is a disaster. There's a little
I'm chatting with him right now. I'll do some tech support with him. You just keep doing your thing.
Old age and quarantine has not done Aleks Paunovic very well at all.
Well, he can hear you apparently.
Paunovic. Oh, you know what? This is kind of funny. He can hear what I have to say.
Yeah, so
I've got a lot to say. I saw 10 episodes of Snowpiercer. Okay, he's going to log out and then log back in. Oh, my God. This is why... Now, Kurt, why am I split down the middle?
Because I had my shots all set up for when he was in here. Hold on, I'll fix you.
Oh, my God.
It's one of those days today.
Oh, Alex. Alex.
He's coming back in.
His fans are like, WTF.
He'll be here.
So you see, I cut my own hair, so it's nice and short on the sides. But look on the back. Well, that's dyed. But look, I got all this. Look at how awful.
Are you growing a mullet?
I can't see in the back to shave it. Oh my Lord.
I mean, you could get like a mirror or something, maybe. I don't know.
A mirror? I need to find a hairstylist boyfriend I can quarantine with.
Oh, you can do that too. Is there still like social dating apps or anything, or is that like against the rules now?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. Those kind of apps, the meeting apps, are still up and running. People are doing stuff left and right. I'm not, because I'm a gentleman, and I don't want to get sick. Let's find out if Paunovic's on Christian Mingle.
All right, he's coming back in here.
Okay.
You can hear me
pray.
now?
Thank you, Jesus of Nazareth. Aleks Paunovic, we were sweating it up. Kurt was giving us horrible puns. What happened to you?
I don't know. I honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought it was Instagram Live.
Girl, we are everywhere live. We're everywhere right now live. We're probably on in Times Square right now. We don't know. We're everywhere.
I love it.
Okay. I just sent you a detailed email with all of the details, but
with pictures.
Girl, the pictures I send you don't like. You're like, whoa, I haven't seen one that looks like that. Anyway, you travel all over the place, literally for fun, mostly for work. Where were you when you found out that, goddamn, I better quarantine. I better pick a place in quarantine. Where were you?
I was in Vancouver, so I'm in Vancouver right now, and luckily it's my home, so
yeah,
it's all good. But what was great is that I had my parents were in Mexico, okay? And my parents they spend their winters in Mexico. So when the quarantine started happening and the COVID started happening, I was like, listen, you guys have to isolate. It's getting a little crazy, and just isolate and be safe. And all of a sudden they became teenagers, because I would call my mom and go, hey, and get no answer. And that's not like my mom. So I called, and finally she picks up. I go, what are you doing? You didn't answer the phone. Oh, we're just hanging out. I go, is there somebody out there, Mom? Are you hanging out with somebody? Oh, just the neighbor came over for a drink. I went, what are you doing? They didn't understand how big it was here in Mexico. Yeah. They weren't really treating it that way in the beginning. And so...
I had no idea that your parents were swingers. I mean, that's just crazy. You find out something new every single time, especially in Mexico.
They know how to have fun. They know how to have fun.
But you rescued them and you set them straight, right?
So I'm fortunate. I have two places right now, just because I moved out of one, and I have a place on the beach. And so I said, listen, and I said, listen, come here. You can stay at the beach. I'll stay at my new condo. I'll come and give you, buy you groceries, do your laundry. So they ended up staying for 5 weeks. And I can tell you this right now, Alex, that it was the best and most loving time I've ever had with both my parents at the same time in my adult life. Like, I know COVID's terrible and everything that's happening, but it was a moment. My dad's 76, my mom's 72, and it was the best time.
That's so good to hear. There are good things, and as a creative, we're kind of shut up indoors and all that. But I know a lot of friends are recreating their brand. They're recreating. They're kind of getting re-inspired artistically. So there are some benefits. And my mom is sick, so I'm actually quarantined with her. And we're watching shows that we never would have watched together before, which is funny. Right. I got her addicted to Judge Judy now. So there is a different type of quality time, and there's no calories during quarantine. So part of the fun is eating whatever you want.
Yeah,
girl,
right.
When you get back to set to finish up Van Helsing, they're going to be like, oh, girl, we got to get out the bigger leather.
It's like, yeah, it's like they're going, okay, so we got to write Fat Julius now.
Hey, they did it to Hemsworth in the Avengers. It's fine.
Okay.
It'll be a joke. But you're so tall, it just like evenly distributes. You can gain 100 pounds, and it would be like a pound from 6'5" top to bottom.
Tell that to my belly.
Yeah, well, and I've seen your gray sweatpants. We know where else it goes. But what does like a typical day in quarantine look like for you? Like what are you doing? What time are you waking up? What's a day? Are you binge watching TV? Are you working out? Are you reading scripts? What's your day?
It's pretty much, you know, it's the being lax, right? Like hence the robe, and I'm in my robe by 6 p.m. It's pretty awesome. But it's like I've been getting up. I'm an early riser, so I get up around 7, have my coffee, try to get a little stretch and a workout in. And I'm actually like the massive promotion of Snowpiercer. So I've been doing a lot of press on it. So that's been great, doing a bunch of Zoom, but also I'm a part of a project that I can't really get into right now, but it's strictly a remote kind of thing. So we're shooting this movie with very high up executives and producers. And I actually have a tech production meeting right after this that it's getting pretty exciting, and it's freaking me out because, you know, I have to be my own DOP. I have to be my own, you know, director. And we showed the DOP like my layout here. So it's all written. I can't wait to get into it with you next time, but
I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, that's been really exciting.
Hey, now you can finally use that video equipment in your bedroom for more use. Everybody wins.
That stays exactly where it goes.
Aleks, what kind of role do I have in this new production?
My lover.
Girl, please, nobody would believe that. Not even Helen Keller would buy that one. She'd be like, no. All right, let's chat about Van Helsing. 5 seasons, more than half a decade from your professional and personal life. How have you changed the most personally, and how have you changed the most professionally since day one on the set of Van Helsing?
I'd like to think that I didn't really change personally. I remember jumping on the show and being so ecstatic that I got the role and that I got to work with some of my favorite people like Neil Abute and Simon Barry and Jonathan Walker and obviously the cast. I was just so excited, and every day, every time we got picked up, I get super excited. And I love being a host on set. I love seeing the Vancouver actors and other actors come on set and just go, oh my God, you got the role, awesome, let's hang out, and really work the craft. That has been awesome. I think professionally, it's given me so much more confidence in that type of venue of being on a show for 5 years and being okay with talking about character motivation and this is not something that I would technically do as Julius, so let's jam this out a little bit. And then they'll, the writers are so fantastic, they'll kind of pitch me why it's written a certain way, and I go, oh, that makes total sense, I'm in, or, well, can we just adjust it a little bit? So it gives me that much more confidence and leeway, and that I own the fact that I'm having a great time, and I feel like I'm a part of the machine that much more, being a part of the show.
It has to be weird, kind of getting geared up emotionally for filming the final season, and then you guys haven't finished yet because this whole situation happened. That has to be weird emotionally.
It's a trip. It's definitely a trip because I love this family, and we were supposed to shoot mid-March, so we're waiting to see when our start date is. But I'm excited that SyFy and Netflix gave us this opportunity to close out the show. Not a lot of shows get that opportunity, and we're super thankful that we get the complete storylines, and anybody that wants to go back and watch it will see a complete story. So I'm excited. I'm going to be sad that it's going to be over, but bigger and better things are on the way, and Van Helsing's, it will always be, until my dying breath, the show that started me in this aspect.
Well, I have to tell you, in kind of, preparing for this interview, which I really don't have to prepare that much, because I feel like I've kind of grown with you during your first season on Van Helsing. I remember I got pitched this actor, Aleks Paunovic. You got to talk to him. He's great. And I'm like, who? Who's this hunk of love? And then from there to see everything else that you've worked on, to see you grow, to see your name out there in such a big way, it's so special to me. And the fact that On the Rocks has been, you know, kind of with you on your journey it's so great. Every time you're on the show, I just love it. What are you gonna miss most about Julius? What are you not gonna miss about Julius?
I got to backtrack.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Vodka and vodka.
The vodka with a splash of vodka.
Hey, I'm prepared for this interview.
I love it. I have my tequila back here when my scotch is done.
We have a special surprise guest. We're going to be playing a little truth or shot. So you're going to have an interesting production meeting.
Oh, geez. Okay, so, but I do have to backtrack because you were there from the beginning. And not only that, you're just so, and I'm pumping your tires here, but you're just so great on the show. And I love the fact that that you were so connected and the research that you do to get to start the show off like you just did. It really had a special place in my heart. And we obviously, when booze is attached to that, that's a different story too, because it's a blast. But honestly, you're a lifer for me. Like, you will always be one of my number one choices and I'd be super excited every time you ask me to come on. So that was something that I wanted to tell you, because you've been there through the get-go, man.
It's a mutual admiration society. I have to tell you, last time you were on, I think you made Dee Wallace quiver in her panties, by the way. She was very taken with you, remember? Oh God, you guys were flirting with each other?
I saw her at a Comic-Con in Florida.
Awesome.
She was literally across the way from me, and we're like, so it was awesome.
So great. I want to have a really honest conversation with you about your time on the business side of your career during Van Helsing. And I got this asked a few different ways from professional actors. And maybe you can give some advice to our listeners who are in the acting business. But I interview a lot of actors who do a show, such as a Van Helsing, or they'll get a show on the CW, or they'll have a network show. And that's what they focus on because that's what their career is for that point. And then when it's over, they may or may not move on to other projects. But you have expanded your brand so much into major film work, independent film, other TV shows. And so with Van Helsing coming to an end, you already have a number of projects going on. How were you able to do that? Is it you calling your agent daily and saying, hey, I still want to be out there, making your own connections? How did you do that so successfully, where some people, they kind of get pigeonholed in their show and that's what they do?
I don't know, man. I honestly, I'm very, very fortunate, but also the idea of, I love going after projects. Like, you know, there was a time there I wasn't taking any auditions because I was really focusing on the studio and other things of producing. And then there was this one audition that came to me and I was like, okay, this is something I can wrap my head around. And I was fortunate enough to get it, and we completed it. We shot and completed it in December, and I can't wait for people to see it. It's called Chained. Adrian Holmes is also starring in it. It was an extremely challenging role for me, but something that I just needed in my life at that time. And I was absolutely just lucky to get it. And then in Snowpiercer was a totally different, I didn't think, like, I thought I would just be popping in here and there on Snowpiercer, but the beauty of Graham Mason and Snowpiercer and everybody that's a part of it, and all the writers and the cast, like, phenomenal ensemble, that, you know, Graham allowed me to create that character, and that was a gift for me. So I got to really create it in a way. Do you want to hear this very cool story about how?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay, all right. So went in for the audition, went in a few times, and the Eastern European, he was a Polish man named Harold Kowalski. And so I did the Eastern European accent, but I would improvise in Serbian because I knew on the other side of the table in the audition, they wouldn't know the difference between Polish and Serbian.
Yeah.
But it would just be little pops, just tiny little pops. So I end up getting the role, and I'm like, shit. So just so you know, that improv wasn't Polish. I can totally delete it when we start shooting, because I would hate me to do Serbian while Polish people are going, what the hell? And And I go, but what's the chances of making him Serbian? And he goes, okay, that's a good idea, but we need an unassuming name. Harold doesn't really it's not a strong name. And he goes, but I like that name. He goes, I like it being unassuming. And immediately my brain clicked in my brother. My brother's name is Boyan. And so I mentioned my brother's name, Boyan, and he said, I could just see the little, and then I said, but his nickname is Bucky.
Oh.
And he goes, oh, I like Bucky. And he said that one of his friends' last name was Boskovic. And the job that I have on the train was called a breachman. I went, Graham, breachman Boyan Boskovic. How cool is that? Boom, done. So that's the name of the character, which again is a testament to Graham allowing me to really own that dude. So yeah, I really got fortunate in that aspect of it. And obviously, I honestly didn't know how big this production was when I got it. When I got on there and got on set and all these cars on the train and the star-studded cast, I was just super, super lucky to be a part of it.
Well, we're going to definitely talk more about a Snowpiercer because I have so many questions, having binge watched the season, by the way. So I have to be honest. So
did you do it all?
I have 3 more episodes
my part
left. So I started to watch your parts first, and then I thought, God, I got to watch the show. It is gorgeous. Kurt, do we still have a call?
Yes, we do. I'll bring him on right now.
Okay, thank you.
We have a call.
Hello, caller. You're on the Rocks with Alex and Alexander. What's going on?
Nothing much. We're hanging out.
This is the United Kingdom. Hello?
What's your name? Yeah.
Oh, this is Katie. Hello. You don't even have to say it. You don't even have to say it. It's Katie. I know it's Katie. Katie?
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
How are you guys enjoying lockdown?
Top of the morning to you, governor.
Top of the morning, my love. I've got a question for you, Alex. And I just, first of all, I want to say thank you for representing disabled people in Van Helsing. You guys, you are amazing where you play Julius. But this question here is, who inspires you as an actor and a boxer?
Oh, you know what? Again, I rewatched. I had the fortunate time to work with him on a show called This Means War, and I watched him again on in Warrior, which is a MMA movie, and he was phenomenal in Warrior. Tom Hardy, I think, is absolutely next level. Not only is he adorable, but
you did not just.
but not only, but he is so great at his craft. He's a great dude, and so for him, that's somebody that I really try to study, because his nuances and his comfortability and how deep he goes within the characters. And my favorite boxer is Muhammad Ali, just because, and I think we spoke about this before, he's somebody that had conviction, not yes, he's a fighter, but he had conviction of what he believed in. And the idea that somebody like that with such a voice in one of the toughest sports out there, it's like you and somebody else, and you're only using 2 hands, and whose will is stronger? Because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the heart to push forward, to push your body and your mind past a certain amount. And that's the thing, he was so outspoken in a sport where if you're outspoken, I get the chance to punch you, not like a football game where, somebody talks a lot and the team loses, but it was him. He put himself on the line, and for him to do what he did with, he took 3 of the best years off of his boxing career to stand up for his convictions and his religion, to not go into the war. And it's not something that he believed in. And so somebody like that just really kind of puts his money where his mouth is just truly inspirational, keeps motivating.
Well, I think your choices are so great. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Tom Hardy for obvious reasons, but his strength and his acting choices, his ability to be a chameleon and fit so many different types of genres, roles, And you know, he's very open, by the way, about his experimental time during college, how he might have had a boyfriend or two. So there's still hope for my people. Thank you so much, Katie Lester, right? Dark One of Damned from Twitter.
Thank you, Katie. You're awesome.
Okay, Alex, we have so many fan questions. So we're gonna pick a few, and then we're gonna play Truth or Shots. Paula wants to know, do you have a deal breaker for relationships?
Sense of humor. You have to have the sense of humor.
Yeah. That is number one on my list. Yeah.
I don't care how stunning you are or beautiful you are, if there can't be this flow of conversation and picking up little sarcastic shots and humor and back and forth, that would end it for me.
Monica wants to know, how different would your life look if you had continued boxing?
I probably wouldn't have a coherent conversation with you right now.
Well, after a few drinks,
yeah,
who's going to tell the
what
difference?
I would be. I don't know, man, because it's a tricky business, and I really here was an interesting thing. So boxing was such a big part of my life. My dad was a boxer, my grandfather, my uncle, and there was a moment very young that I went, and I'm not saying that this was the right decision. It's just what I went through was like, so they retire in their mid-30s. Then what? If I put everything into this, as I think every fighter should, I think if you're not giving it 100%, you should not be in that ring. I have that much respect for the sport. So for me, I would have been so focused on boxing and every other aspect. My brain went, what am I going to do after? So I really connected to, I was playing in my band, and then I started doing some acting and some producing. I had a travel show when I was back in my hometown in Winnipeg.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had a travel show called Destinations Manitoba. The only reason why I can bring it up right now, because I'm cleaning out my beach spot, and I saw the clippings that I had. I was like, oh shit, I forgot all about this.
Well, Alex, I have a surprise for our viewers. And Kurt, if you can find these, I found a couple of pictures of you in your long hair playing in a band. So we'll be showing those.
I had the locks, man. The locks were all about
you did.
it. Oh, that wasn't it, but that shirt says slut dragger.
Well, things have changed and not changed.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have another call. Kurt, is the caller still there?
Yes, it is. Bringing him in right now.
Perfect.
There's that shot.
Hello.
I'm doing a head spin.
Yeah.
Hello.
You are on the rocks with Alexander and Aleks Paunovic. Do you have a question for Alex?
Well, yeah, this is Paula. So
Paula.
my question is, Paula.
I know
He
you,
just asked
Paula.
about the
How are you?
relationships. And he said,
I'm good.
sense of humor. The deal breaker.
Actually, an alternate question to those is, I want to ask about Ganji, because it's not something that at least I've gotten a chance to see yet, even though I was like a backer for the show. But can you tell us a little about that? What prompted you to do it, and why?
It's interesting, and I can't, like, for some reason we can't get you that link, because the link never. We're gonna make it happen, Paula, because you were a huge supporter of it, and I thank you for it, and I have massive appreciation for you. But for some reason we can't get that link to you. But Ganji was about Ben Ratner, who's a good friend of mine and a great actor. Him and I both met Muhammad Ali in Vancouver, and it was a life-changing moment. And again, for me, Muhammad Ali, I was weeping when I was with him. Like I
saw that picture you took with him. It's so amazing.
Yeah, and I had the opportunity to be in a theater with him, and basically, like, I'm sure he's heard it 1,000 times, but I just said, and I just started pouring my heart out and getting emotional and saying, like, you were the dad I never had. Like, you were somebody that I inspired to be. And because his Parkinson's was pretty huge back then, he just kind of lifted up his fist and put it on my chin, and I just went, and we finished the conversation with that, and I got to have Muhammad Ali's fist on my chin, and it was absolutely amazing. So that picture, Ben and I have a picture together with Muhammad Ali, and Ben wrote this script about Ganji, who's a punch drunk fighter later in his life. So if you think about Rocky, the underdog, but times by like 20 years later, so he's having a hard time with being punch drunk and having his life together, and 5 of his friends come back to try to take care of him in the short film. And it's a beautiful thing that he wrote, and the idea of it was, you know, and I even know about it now, but I remember like 20 years ago when I would watch fights with my friends, we would be so over the moon with the competitive nature of 2 guys going at it for 12 rounds. But we didn't really understand the damage that they were taking. And the only way I understand it now is because I'm 20 years older, and I go, oh my God, I cheered for him, and this is what happened. And I cheered for that, basically, which is a tough thing now to kind of look at. So that's the story of the Ganji script that Paula, that you so lovingly supported. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. I can't wait to see it.
You will, believe me, you will. I'll hand deliver it myself if I have to.
Oh my
I'm not
Lord,
gonna
how much
from
does
you.
that cost? I'll contribute too.
Hey, I'm just
Paula,
down in
thank you.
Seattle, like, you know.
Perfect. We'll go
Yeah,
to
let's make that
Starbucks.
happen. Starbucks, yeah, we'll hit a Starbucks.
Paula, thank you
Starbucks.
so much for calling in.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you. You guys take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Okay, we're going to take a really quick break, and when we come back, we are playing Truth or Shot. So I'm going to need you to pour a glass, Alex, when we come back. And we're back. That's how we do it here. We don't get you a moment to breathe.
Wow.
I want to bring on our celebrity guest who's going to help us play a little Truth or Shot.
Who is this?
All right. So Patrick Gilmore is best known for his TV roles as David Mailer on the Netflix original Travelers, Sean on Audience Network's You, Me, Her, Dr. Dale Volkner on the SyFy Network Stargate Universe, and the notorious wealthy entrepreneur Tom Drexler on AMC's The Killing. And he's amassed so many guest star roles on CW series Smallville, Supernatural, Fox's Fringe, and USA's Fairly Legal. Please welcome back to the show, Patrick Gilmore.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Patrick, how are you?
I saw you guys wearing these things, so I thought I'd put one in, although I don't know if mine works.
Yeah, it works. Buddy, so good to see you, man.
How are you? I'm
you.
surprised they asked me, but I assumed that I was the only friend of yours that'd be sober at this point.
Yeah, that
Well,
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Hi, Alexander.
Hi. What have you been up to? There you go. That's how we do it On the Rocks.
Well,
Sure,
the last time I was on your show, I got half cut, so I just assumed that I'd
Yeah,
join.
I know. I got half cut too. That's his thing that he needs to get us like
That's what we
out of
do.
it.
Where you
tell
draw
you-
the line, Alex, is you don't sing unless you're prepared. That's what I've learned. Have you learned that lesson?
No,
Well-
I have not.
Not at all. In fact, I'm hoping we can end the show with a reprise of his highly lauded Hamilton. And you know, Hamilton, the movie, well, they're streaming the show July 31st.
July. Yeah.
They're streaming it for free, so everybody can watch it. Thank you, Disney.
didn't know
Thank
that.
you, Lin-Manuel. Yes. And I
Yeah.
thought they should call Alex and do like a celebrity like after show. But I have to say, every person that comes on the Rocks does not age from the day that they come on the show, and we look gorgeous. Patrick, it looks like you were just on the show, and it's been like 3 years. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think I'm about 20 pounds heavier, and my hair's about 20 inches longer, but that's only been in the last month.
But you're
We
just
are all
always a
gorgeous.
beautiful looking dude. You're just always
Yes.
a beautiful looking dude.
Oh, you're
A
such
cute little teddy bear. Okay, so I need to know, how have you been surviving quarantine?
Yeah, not bad. I'm kind of an introvert to begin with, so I've been preparing this for years.
You know, the first sign of madness is putting Christmas lights up in your house. I'm just saying.
When does this
Oh
pop
my
in?
Lord! There's no hope. You need to
Yeah.
go back in that Stargate.
I was this close to showing up with a nice smoky eye.
Oh God, that would have been
Too
brilliant.
much RuPaul Drag Race. We got to you. We got to you. I love it. Now, tell me how you know Alex, other than being from the,
I
working in the same area.
I don't know. It's one of those things where if you're from Vancouver and you kind of came up in the system the last couple, I don't want to say 2 decades, but that's kind of what it is. You end up just being of the same graduating class. And I honestly can't remember the first time I met Alex, but I feel like you've been in my life for too long.
I know the first too long.
Do you remember Alex?
I remember.
Let's hear it.
First time I met you, you were a reader.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God.
And he was a reader for a big casting agent here. And why I remember it is because I was just kind of like, I wasn't really kind of booking as much as I would like to. And so I remember going in the room, and it was a pretty wordy audition, but you were connected so well. Your read was so great that I couldn't help but try to level with you. You rose my game.
Oh.
And I remember telling friends that you were fantastic at it. And that was my first experience with you, and I'll never forget, was being a phenomenal reader that really helped me.
Oh, that's
didn't fucking book the role.
No, you wouldn't have. I don't remember that. But being a reader,
went to Patrick.
Yeah, I booked that. I gave you all the wrong notes. Being a reader was the best education I ever had as an actor, because you could be the greatest actor, but if you can't audition, you'll never book. But if you can nail the audition, you'll work all the time. And so to be able to be a reader and have access to actors like Alex and actors that I looked up to when I moved here, and to be able to act opposite them, even if it is for 5 minutes, I learned so much. I guess that would have been the first time.
Yeah, that was the first time. And then, Drunken Nights with Eklund. So, yeah.
And now look at you.
And now it's just
you're wearing a bathrobe?
Yeah, man.
I think I overdressed for this whole situation.
I'm wearing my pajamas because I haven't dressed today. I put on a jacket because I knew Alex was going to be dressed up. Alexander was going to be dressed up.
Hugo Boss.
He's always dressed. He's always on point. I was like, I'm in my house, man. I'm free flowing, if you know what I mean. I'm staying here.
My Lord. Now we're going to get all these tweets. All the girls and some of the guys are going to be like, woohoo! Gray sweatpants all over again. Okay, Patrick, so I need your help.
Yeah.
I thought we would get like a third party to kind of, really get down and dirty. So you're gonna help lead this. But Aleks Paunovic, we are playing Truth or Shot. So here are the rules. Patrick is going to ask you the question. You can choose truth or you can choose shot. And if you don't want to answer the question, you have to take a shot. But you owe it to your fans. If you say truth, you really have to give us the truth.
I took a glance at these questions, and you're about to get loaded.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't.
All right, Patrick Gilmore, take it away.
Well, let's start with the first one. Alex, have you ever had a relationship with someone on set during a shoot?
Yes.
Oh.
Relationship? Have you had relations? Done the deed on set?
Okay, you asked for one question. You can't start amalgamating the question.
I read it wrong. It's relations.
Oh.
Yeah.
While I was on set?
Yeah, in the green room.
Yes.
Rockin'?
Really?
Little trailer action, let's just say.
Nice work.
Charlie Brown. Okay, next question.
Really? We're moving on from that? We don't want to know who and
yeah,
how long?
That was it.
Okay.
How long? What do you mean, like how long I lasted?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Yeah, really?
yeah.
It was the whole lunch hour.
My.
Meal penalty. What is one of your least favorite film projects? That's a dodgy one.
I love this question.
There it is.
Here we go.
Not willing to burn any bridges.
Where's our sound effects?
Yeesh.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
supposed to take a shot too?
I do anyway.
Oh.
Out of, solidarity.
Right. That's kind of it.
Okay, next.
Third one. Have you ever
Oh shit. Oh shit.
have you ever, Alex, dipped your toe in the man pond?
And I bring this up because of Tom Hardy, because he's very honest about it.
Well, no. Sorry, but I haven't.
Oh, well, you're in the West End, right?
Yeah,
I'm like 10 minutes away, buddy.
Should we start it up?
Okay, not
Honestly,
even like a drunken, like
Well,
it could be like a little smooch.
Wow, see, that's a different question now.
How's that a different question?
That's a toe.
Because I did a play at Lyric, right?
Oh, they're very gay. Yes.
Yeah, an acting school, and one of there was a scene that I had to kiss a man, not just like a peck, but I had to kiss a man.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count at all. I'm talking about like a cast party. People were getting too drunk. Spin the bottle was happening, and Tom Hardy unbuttons. Okay.
No, never did.
Okay.
Reach around, yes, but never did one of those.
That doesn't count.
Okay, next.
That doesn't count. It's jail.
What co-star? I can't imagine you're going to be drinking this one. What co-star has had the worst body odor?
Michael Eklund. I just didn't want to take another shot.
I don't think he'd
that
argue
you
with
did
you.
him wrong? He's gonna get like a deodorant sponsor campaign tomorrow. One of those Old Spice commercials.
Mikey, I just didn't want to have another shot.
Sure.
Okay, next.
One film that you could have replaced the lead actor and done a better job. Probably that one.
It could be
with
classic
Anthony Hopkins.
film. It could be any film.
I would say, could it be a show or a film? Film. I would replace. Oh shit. My buddy Victor Webster was in a movie called Wishmaster. He shit the bed.
We're gonna clip this and send it to him with some flowers.
Yeah, out of context.
Yeah,
that line.
but
Totally.
and I remember because this was one of the first gigs I had, and it's when I met this Victor Webster in Winnipeg, and they asked me to stunt double him. And I remember they were saying, "Look, he's 6." Okay, this is going to lead into a pretty hilarious story if you guys have time for this.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, "Listen, the actor that's coming in, he's like 6'3", if that. So try to not look so tall when the director looks at you to stunt double him." I'm like, yeah, no problem. So we walk in, and I meet Victor, and I was like, and we're exactly the same height. He's 6'5". And I looked at him, and the way I looked at him, this first time we met, he just kind of went. So I just left it alone. So the idea is, the shorter you are, especially back then, the more gigs you'll get. If they see that you're 6'5", they'll go, I don't think we want to hire anyone that big. So that's what his rationale was. So we ended up working together and being like best friends. Now, fast forward, as we're talking, and I'm moving to Vancouver, and he's looking at my resume. He goes, "Listen, Alex, make sure you put 6'3". Don't put 6'5". Like, if they see you, they see you, but put 6'3", because you'll get the gig as opposed to not getting the gig." I'm like, "Are you sure, man?" He goes, yeah, no problem. So I do it. I end up getting a commercial. My very first gig in Vancouver was a commercial for Kia cars. Okay.
Oh my God! How did you fit in a car? How did you fit in a Kia?
Exactly. So let me finish. So I get the gig, and I'm like the dad and the wife and the kid in the back, and I get in the car to start the shoot. I can't fucking fit. And I'm like with the steering wheel, my knees are right up there, and I'm freaking out going like, I don't look comfortable, and they're trying to shoot me for a comfy ride, and I'm just like all cramped, and I'm like, oh man. So they all gather in a corner, and I'm thinking, that's it, I'm fired. They know I'm fired. My first gig, I'm fired. And the director comes back. He goes, yeah, they're talking. They're just really upset at the manufacturer because it said it would fit a 6'3" person, but obviously it doesn't. And I was just like, yeah.
Cost Kia billions.
Right.
Billions.
Cost Kia billions. They switched the whole manufacturing around because this prick lied on his resume.
Yeah.
Now nobody can reach the gas pedal anymore because they made it too big now.
Exactly.
All right, next question.
Okay.
Okay, where were we here? One thing that fans do that annoy you the most.
I will answer this.
Really?
Oh, okay.
I love my fans, and I love people wanting to.
We know you do, which is why this is a funny question.
And I absolutely love it. But when I get a comment, or if I get a message that, like there's a bunch of messages that come in, I just don't have a lot of time for it. But when the next message after they say something like, I love Van Helsing, when's Van Helsing coming back, the whole thing, and I don't answer, they'll respond with, I'm really disappointed that you don't answer your fans. I took the time to do this. Like, I just had one now, and it was like, I shouldn't be obligated to answer back, and just because you've sent the message, but I have massive respect. Anything that I read, I take it as like an amazing thing, but I don't have to answer. And especially when, you're busy, you're just busy. You may read it, but I don't have time to write back the stuff. Yeah. So I have mad respect for my fans, and I love communicating with fans. It's just the guilt trip is not something that I do.
You check your DMs on social media? You go through all that?
Once in a while I do. Like once in a blue moon I do, and I see some really cool things.
It's so hard though. Like it's so hard to catch
tough.
up, and it's impossible. That's why a lot of celebrities will have somebody else do their whole social media in the first place. So the fact that it's actually you taking the time, but it's literally impossible to keep track of everything and see every notification. Somebody could have sent you a message 2 days ago that you will never literally see.
It's exactly it. And Patrick, you get a ton of that too, right?
Well, I have a hard time texting my friends back, so I'm horrible to get a hold of, and so I just stopped checking my direct messages because, like you, I would feel obligated, and it weighs on you. So I just kind of put my head in the sand and ignore it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of times, like I love the fact that I've had some fans send a message, and it they have no idea if I read it or not, or if even it's going to get to me, and then respond with a pic or something, just so that, and then they get really excited and blown away that I even responded, because just the way the message was, and that kind of stuff I dig. I'll like, when I feel like it, and I see something and it feels right and it's a good energy, I'll throw something up there.
Yeah, I have to say, people like you and in our circle, Eklund, you guys are kind of the people that I look up to as far as how to treat and people that watch you and fans. I strive to be just a little more active and receptive like you guys are. I think you're really good at it.
That's
That's
sweet.
awesome, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Next question. This is getting too emotional, too positive. We need some dirt.
This is what happens when the booze starts going. Okay, here's the
We're
next one.
gonna cry. I love you, man.
Speaking of crying, what is the worst way that you've broken up with someone?
Oh,
There's so many.
I broke up with a girl. This is grade 10. We went out for a movie and dinner, and then I pulled over and I broke up with her, and it turned out it was the parking lot of a funeral home. And she started crying so hard. I'm in grade 10. I went, oh, just kidding. No, we're back together.
Oh my God,
that was
brilliant.
my worst, I think.
Oh, that's brilliant. Man, I'm a deflector. When I feel like I'm out, I'll deflect. So there's times where it's like, hey, should we get something to eat? Yeah, okay, I'll meet you at 6 at the restaurant. And I just don't show up and never answer the call.
The maitre d' says
Yeah.
you've been broken up with.
You are.
Would
You
like
are a
some water?
bad.
But
Not
that was
bad.
when I was very young and didn't know how to handle those situations, so I bolt.
Yeah. You don't like conflict.
Jennifer Connelly sitting by herself at the table there. Okay, next question.
Okay.
This is a good one. I'm curious about this one. Aleks, have you ever faked it? On screen, of course. And what is your cheat tip? Now, are you talking about orgasms?
No, but like, I've acted myself plenty of times, and sometimes you're just not feeling it, and you
like
have a
called it in?
cheat. Yeah, where you have like a certain thing that you do that that you're just cheating it, but it looks fine and nobody knows.
Okay, so two-part question. Have you ever called it in, and have you ever faked an orgasm?
I knew it. I knew it. Yes, I've called it in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have called
That's
it in
not
just
surprising.
because. Yeah.
Sorry.
Asshole.
No,
What a prick.
He didn't even call it in. He texted it in.
I love it. I could just hear you right now. Yes, of course he called it in every episode of Van Helsing.
Yeah, have you not seen Van Helsing?
Aren't you calling
What
it
season
in
is this anyway?
Oh my god. So yeah, I have just trying to get through it because it's a pressure situation, and there's times where you're so on point and then something like the camera's not working and they're trying to get the camera, this is happening, and then you're just like, oh shit, I was prepared 10-15 minutes ago, and now I'm totally out of it. And you just try your best to stay connected. But I do feel like, you know what, I just went to my go-tos because I'm just trying to get through it and get the machine keep moving.
Yeah, because it is a machine. There's 100 people around you wanting to go home to their families, and I always look to the boom mic guy because he's the guy that physically embodies. He's just like, will you just get the line?
And you see the shake, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do one more.
Okay, one more. I'll have to find. Okay, have you ever tried to take a sexy picture of yourself, Aleks?
Now, are we talking like?
You know what we're talking about.
I feel sexy, or are you saying, hey, woo, this is a good one this morning, chick?
Yeah.
Are you talking about that?
And with an eggplant. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, look what my mommy and daddy made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's sexy.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's in the cloud somewhere?
No.
There's going to be a bunch of tech guys now just breaking into your phone.
I'm kidding. I never did.
Okay.
The first time I sent a dick pic, I Googled penis, and I found a photo that I'm like, yeah, that kind of looks like mine. And then you start kind of gauging how big you want it to look. And so I sent a really, I thought it was modest, but I just used that one for the longest time. But now it's in my search history. Is like,
oh my god,
average attractive
brilliant.
penis.
That is
And
brilliant.
they're like, I thought you were Jewish.
And white.
And I could just see somebody. I could just see somebody going, "That's Michael Eklund's, not yours."
Yeah, because there's 100 photos of that floating around.
Exactly.
Along with rumors of his body odor, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Patrick
that's
Gilmore,
hilarious.
it has been such a pleasure. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you so much for helping us play a little truth or shot. We
Oh, it was
didn't get
great
Aleks
seeing
as
you.
drunk as I thought we were going to get.
I'm there.
It's great seeing you, Aleks. Congratulations, and love seeing you, buddy. Stay safe.
Always a fan, my friend. Can't wait to see you.
All right, see you guys.
All right.
Bye,
That's
Patrick.
awesome. That's awesome.
Okay, Aleks, we have to get to some of these fan questions. Carrie wants to know, how long is the longest you have sat in the makeup chair for any role?
I would say, about 8 hours.
Holy crap, that's like a full day.
Yeah, basically it was, because it was a makeup test, so I had to sit there and we were just trying to find it and then trying to get approval from the director, and then they would have notes, and then getting back into the chair. And we're talking about like first starting off with the plaster for like a prosthetic, and then into the painting and the hair. And so yeah, I mean believe it or not, the first day of C with that I played with Jason Momoa, that's what that was all about. And they were great because they let me kind of get some input of how I think I should look. And so it was a lot of back and forth.
Now, is it true that for C, you really didn't want the role because it was kind of a smaller role, and then Jason Momoa had to call you and be like, "Hey, bitch."
Yeah, that's exactly it. So it was basically, and I didn't want to tell him. I knew the show was coming, and we hung out for dinner a few times before casting went, and I didn't want to be the dude that went, "Hey, can you try to get me on the show?" I wanted to earn it. And I went in and I auditioned for a role that was bigger. I didn't get that role. And then Francis Lawrence, the director, who's phenomenal, one of my favorite directors ever, offered me another role. And it was smaller. And I learned a lesson from this because for me, I just kind of went, you know what? I'm going to wait for more episodes of another character that just may pop in. So it's just like a roll of the dice. And so I turned it down, and then they came back and I turned it down again. And then I think Jay was with Francis at a dinner or something. And Francis mentioned that, yeah, we got this guy. I think he would be great for the fight scenes with you, but he's turned it down. And because Jay worked in Vancouver before on Stargate, he was like, well, who is he? I might know him. And he says my name. He goes, what the fuck? And he calls me up and he was like, dude, what the fuck's going on, man? Dude, this is... And I just went, yes. And honestly, he taught me a lesson that no small role is a small role. And it's one of my favorite roles creatively that I've played. So I thank him for that.
And it's streaming right now on
Apple Plus.
Yeah, Apple Plus. There's a lot of great stuff on Apple Plus too. That Servant show is so good. Yeah. And Amazing Stories is back. And that's a blast from the past. And they're doing
I want to check that one out.
Yeah. Yeah. Colleen wants to know, what is one thing you tell your younger self about show business now that you've been through it, the peaks and the valleys?
Is this my Colleen?
Yeah.
I love Colleen.
We do love Colleen.
Yeah, she's the best. So what would I tell my younger self about the business?
Yeah.
That it's just not as easy as you think, because you literally, when you see the business when you're young, you're seeing people working and you're seeing people in the moment. Most of this business is trying to get a job. So the work of an actor is the audition, because the audition is so pivotal to not only learning the dialogue, which you have to do when you're working, but you're your own director. You're your own person that kind of goes into this thing and tries to put it on a plate for them, and then being able to be directed after that. So you have to go in with a choice that you firmly believe, but then also switching on a dime when there's direction. That's the job of acting. The gig itself is when it gets gravy, because you can just really let go. You have all the time in the world. You have like 2 minutes in a room to impress somebody enough that they want to hire you. Again, like I'll go back to Van Helsing, and I don't know if I shared this story with you. I don't think I've really shared it on.
I'm leaning in. I'm intrigued.
It's not a funny one.
Okay.
It's
and not all Hollywood stories are.
Right. But it definitely I definitely think that. So for Van Helsing, I had an audition for Van Helsing, and about 3 days before, I ended up finding a friend of mine dead in his apartment.
Oh my God.
I was the one that broke in the door, found him, and it was traumatic, but I was also in shock. And I remember just trying to move forward with it. And then I think 2 days later, the audition came up, and I was like, no, even telling my agent, no, I'll go in. And the audition was the character, not Julius's character, but a character losing somebody close to him. And I didn't put the two together when I was like getting ready to go to the audition. As I'm driving to the audition, I'm thinking to myself, I can't do this. I think the shock wore off after 2 days, and now it's really starting to get inside me. And I remember parking, and a really good friend of mine, John Cassini, I had to call, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. It caught up with me, and all my emotion was in here, and I don't know if I can go in and actually do this. And he just said the beautiful thing of just saying, this is why we do this art, to tell these type of stories. This is your vessel. And I remember going in and still holding on to everything, and the room was packed, and I started doing the dialogue, and when the part was coming where I had to say goodbye to my friend, I could not stop weeping. I just could not stop weeping. And I remember I didn't even wait for the audition to be over. I just walked out and went right to my car and probably cried for another half hour, and finally drove away. And fortunate enough, I got the role of Julius from that audition. So every time I'm working on that show in the last 5 years, I almost feel like it's a testament to my buddy that just kind of tipping his hat and going, we did this together and type thing. So I don't know if I answered the question, but that was what was the question? I was going towards somewhere. Oh, about auditions.
Yes. Yeah.
So that, to me, that doing that audition and being that vulnerable was it basically gave me this job. And so that moment that I kind of put out there and they received it, I could have been fine if I didn't get the gig and life went on.
Yeah.
I would have been totally fine, but I ended up getting the gig, and it's 5 years now. So that moment, and I think with every audition, there's moments, and that's the work for them to tip their hat, and then all of a sudden you're a part of a show for 5 years. Super grateful, super happy, and a testament and a tribute to my friend.
Well, and it's being open to who you really are with your emotions. The biggest thing about you is I always call you the gentle giant. You're huge, your hands are huge, you're a former athlete and all this, but there's that gentle side to you that that does away with all the norms of what we consider what is masculine in Hollywood. That's kind of changing, and men like you that kind of add that to your acting. That's why your characters are so vibrant and real, even if you're playing like the most sci-fi character. It's right. It's I call you the gentle giant.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Candy wants to know if you could portray any public figure, living or passed away, in a bioflick, what would it be?
Anthony Robbins.
What?
I just feel like I could play him.
That's
big
interesting.
Dude. I would love to be. I would love to do Muhammad Ali or something like that, but that's just not feasible.
Well, hey, multicultural casting, it goes both ways, right?
There you go.
Natalia wants to know, when you have an audition, but there are very few characters that are suitable for you in it, what do you do? Do you like discount the audition, or
that's a great question. There's a lot of things that I'll read that I go, oh, this is so not me. And wherever I am in my life, I'll either pass and, not take that audition. But then there's times it's like, this is not me, but it's a great project. So maybe I can go in there, do a good job, and then go, not this character isn't him, but maybe this character is him. So you just want to be able to do a good and seriously own the character, not necessarily the page, but more of the character. But yeah, that's a great question.
Okay, we are going to wrap up, but I just have to ask, Snowpiercer, which premieres on TNT May 17th, highly anticipated, already renewed for season 2, and I checked out your DMB and it's already listed there and everything.
Yeah, it's great.
So very, very excited. It's very uncomfortable to watch. I know the show was pushed up. People are at home watching TV, but it's pretty much about the division of the classes, access to medical, to food, to everything. And so I was a fan of the original Snowpiercer film with Tilda and Chris Evans and Octavia Spencer. and watching the show recently just takes on a whole different life, and it's kind of scary.
It's very scary, and the idea that, you know, this continuous train rolling around, and just it's the only place to live, and the classes, and you're forced to be within these classes unless there's, you know, you stand up for what you believe in. So it's scary, it's isolating, and but there's so many wonderful performances, beautiful storylines. I honestly, and I haven't seen it. I haven't seen anything. So I'm really looking forward to being able to watch it, and really enjoying it. Yeah.
You know, the show is so claustrophobic to watch. We know it takes place on a train, 1,001 cars.
Right.
What was it like to film that? Because you're on these little sets with all of these actors. Was it claustrophobic to film as well?
I didn't feel it was, but I did feel like very cramped. I felt like pretty big in those cars, and so
it was like a Kia commercial all over again.
Yes, it definitely was, and I'm but yeah, there was definitely moments where it's like, you want me to crawl down that and then pop back up, like no big deal. I can't even fit in that little thing, so there was a down, but it was all good. It was all good.
All right. I know that you have to jump onto a production meeting in just a little bit. I thought you were going to be more wasted than you are.
No.
Aleks, we love you so much. Cannot wait for everybody to see Snowpiercer. Also, whenever you guys finish Van Helsing in that final season, I can't wait till you're back in LA and things are better and we can actually party. I need to take you to West Hollywood.
I'm in. I always stay in West Hollywood. I'm there, so I'm
perfect.
Yeah,
perfect. I might have to crash. Tom Hardy and I will crash. Aleks, where can viewers and listeners find you?
Aleks Paun, ALEKS PAUN, and Twitter, Instagram, Aleks Paunovic on Facebook. And I just got to say again, man, especially during this time, you are nothing but a positive energy, and I love being on your show. I love your Facebook post, your Instagram. I love it all. You are such a beacon for this community, and I really thank you for that.
You're the sweetest. Like I said, you are my gentle giant. You're my bad bromance. We're going to get up to some trouble. I cannot wait to see what's next. I have to say to our viewers and listeners, that's all, folks. It's a grab bag of fun every week on the Rocks. Give us a like, a subscribe, a share, send nudes. Head to ontherocksradioshow.com for all of this fun for free. And hopefully we will be back in the studio soon. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tipsy. See you next Tuesday.
This has been another episode of On the Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram at On the Rocks On Air. Find everything On the Rocks for free at ontherocksradioshow.com. Subscribe, like, review, and share. Until next week, stay fabulous.